What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who your favorite plays are. And then go sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo. Get yourself $25 on that first deposit. Now, one more plug. Tonight, myself and Laffy, Game 5 on playback. We're streaming the whole game. We're chatting it up. We're talking to you guys. Come join us. Come watch the game with us. You can watch the game at the same time. We're all watching the same screen. We all get the game. Just check out playback. Follow myself on Twitter or Awesemo_com. You'll get the info there. Now, we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10. Robert Williams, Andrew Wiggins, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? Time to find out. In at number 5, we've got Klay Thompson, 11,500, projected for just shy of 33, optimal lineup 42% of the time. Klay's kind of tough. You could pretty much use him anywhere. 3% likelihood of being in the optimal MVP spot, 9% at star, 19% at pro. So very clearly pro is the most likely outcome. 11% though also at utility. So star, pro, utility, you can take the multiplier. You don't have to take the multiplier. I think it all sort of works for Klay. I got him in for 38 minutes. Certainly a little bit of upside there once we get to game number 5. 24% usage, 20 points, 4.5 boards, just shy of 3 assists and a stock and a half. I love getting to Klay, and you can make a much more unique lineup with Klay, given the fact that he works everywhere. Similar to Klay, but less extreme at the top, we've got Draymond Green. He's 11K, projected for 32, optimal lineup 45% of the time. 3% chance at the MVP. That feels almost impossible, but if he has like a Draymond triple-double game, then he's very live for it. 8% at star. I think that's where you start to see that Draymond triple-double game peak in. 20% at pro, very similar to Klay. 15 at utility. It's going to be a little bit easier to get to Draymond at utility because he's just simply $500 cheaper and less likely to have that big score. But you can go up and down the line again, mixing and matching Draymond and Klay. Two guys that don't have 50% aggregate together. You put them together, that's not that's not all that frequent of a lineup combination. And you could put those guys in any real spot. 8 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, and 2.5 stocks for Draymond in this one. 35 minutes. I almost couldn't say that. Now, the next 3 guys that we're going to talk about are all basically exactly the same in optimal odds. So just pay close attention. But there's no separation here. In my opinion, I have no distinction to separate them other than the fact that I have to do it for this video. Number 3, Steph Curry, 15,500, projected for 45. Optimal lineup 54% of the time. You can see we stepped up in tier here. 38 minutes for Curry, 32% usage, 28 points, almost 6 boards, almost 6 assists, and a stock and a half. You're not using him the same way you're using Draymond or Klay. 35% likelihood of being at the MVP spot. Both he and Tatum, who we're obviously going to get to, make up the large majority of the odds of being the highest raw point scorer. 17% at star. Again, you sort of just expect Tatum and Steph to make up most of those 2 spots. 2% at pro, impossible at utility, mostly impossible at utility. Steph Curry in at number 3. If I give him 39 minutes, he's in at number 1. You're probably going to need 2 of my top 3 in the lineup you create. If you need all 3, you're probably chopping with like 1,000 people. Probably didn't expect it to be Al Horford, but he's in at number 2. He's 10,500. We got to remember, price is everything here, and it just gets way too easy to get to Al Horford. Projected for 32 fantasy points, optimal lineup 56% of the time. I gave him 34 minutes. The minutes have been down in most of the games in this series, but there are 3 games left in the season. They want Al Horford to be out there more if they can. Coming off a 2 days rest, I think 34 minutes works. And honestly, I would not be surprised at all if that number became like 38. 14% usage, 10 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 2 stocks. You're not really going to Horford in the MVP spot 2% of the time, 7% at star, 18 at pro, and 28% at utility. This is the value play that you go to because it's very easy to go to Horford and then get Steph and get Jayson Tatum. But whether it's Horford, whether it's Draymond, whether it's Klay, all three of these guys have very, very similar projection makeups for your roster. And you can mix and match those guys at like the best way you possibly can, because we have ownership projections at Awesemo.com. You can see where the public is going to be and sort of massage these guys in different ways. That's a weird way to say it, but move them around in different ways to take best advantage of that public ownership. Now, before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder: like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are. Sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo so you can get $25 on that deposit. And don't forget to watch us tonight, Game 5, on playback. Myself and Laffy streaming the whole game. Way better than the regular broadcast. Jayson Tatum in at number one, although, if we're being honest, tied with Al Horford. 16K for Tatum, so you kind of know what you're doing here. Projected for about 47. He's in the optimal lineup 56% of the time. 41 minutes for Tatum, 30% usage, 27, 7, and 6, 2 stocks. 42% likelihood of being the optimal MVP, so the most likely optimal MVP, but also not the favorite against the field. Pay attention to that. 12% at star, 1% at pro, and 0 at utility. The key piece for Jayson Tatum is this: you're either playing Jayson Tatum in the MVP or star spot, or he's not in your lineup at all. But for right now, he is your number one contender for the slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Final. I feel like I said final 1,000 times in that sentence. It's not important. There's a DraftKings version of this video around here somewhere. Check that out. That's very important. Good luck, everybody. Win some money. Win or lose, Celtics, Warriors, doesn't matter. Back for Game 6 for more contenders.